As a visual person who loves story, this ritual is ripe with the symbolism of coming together. It's a symbolism of our faith, and it asks each person and family to come forward and share a short story about some place or something that matters to them. The water we bring joins with the water brought by others, blending into a single source, available for blessings that remind us that we are not alone. We participate in this time of ingathering in recognition of the return of the structure of the church year and the academic year for those who are going to school. Many of us have a different pattern of living in the summer. The longer days call us out to parks and long walks, to growing gardens, and to evenings by fire pits, on porches, or with windows open wide, welcoming the world outside our homes in. Water has been the home of holy and sacred sites for as long as stories have been told. Recently, 11 of us from the congregation joined Pilgrim House UU, a congregation down the road, for a sacred sites tour. The tour was an opportunity to learn about Minnesota history from a Native American perspective through storytelling. Jim Bear Jacobs led the tour. You'll have a chance to hear him briefly in a few moments. We spent most of our time at Fort Snelling State Park, near the confluence of the Minnesota and the Mississippi rivers. The name the Dakota people gave that spot is Bedote. The Dakota word Bedote means where two waters come together. And that location is physical, and it's a spiritual place where the Dakota people believe creation began. Jim Bear explained to us that the Dakota and other indigenous people don't tell history or experience history in this linear way of beginnings, present, future. Instead, history is found in place. It's found in the earth, in the origin stories and the history that has been lived out in certain locations, connecting with ancestors and the water and the earth and the sky and the air. As one person who comes from a Polish, Italian, and German descendants who migrated into this country, it's so easy for me to walk over to that area of the Mississippi and sit in that sacred confluence and forget the history and be unaware of the sacredness of that location and other particular points along these rivers and lakes that we have access to. When surveyed, Unitarian Universalists consistently speak of nature as one of the places that they feel connected to wonder and awe and beauty and mystery. Two of the sources of our faiths point to the reality, direct experience of transcending mystery and wonder, affirmed in all cultures, which moves us to the renewal of spirit and the openness to the forces which create and uphold life. And the other source is the spiritual teachings of earth-centered traditions, which celebrate the sacred circle of life, and they instruct us to live in harmony with the rhythms of nature. Our winter solstice service has been an alternative for many years in our congregation, and it's a place where those who resonate with the sacredness of the turning of the seasons gather. Some do that instead of coming to Christmas Eve, which is connected to the UU roots and recognizes the Christian story of the birth of Jesus. The stories that we will share today describes the source of water that we have collected and that we have memories tied to. Water is vital to our survival, and in a place like Minnesota, water is a source of beauty and recreation, of solace, and of reflection. It feels right to have this life source be what merges together today, just as it has been year after year at this time of the year in UU congregations. May we hold water in our homes, our communities, our state, our country, and the world as the vital source that it is. May we protect it, use it wisely, and slow down so we can notice its beauty, recognize the history that surrounds it, and have the ability to soothe our souls. and may we be learners, curious about the stories of people who lived here long before our arrival, who were forced away from their sacred spaces. With gratitude and humility, we will hear words from Jim Bear Jacobs before beginning our Merging of the Waters service.